Good afternoon. Happy Savage Saturday. Keepers of the Cash. Gary B, the Casual Comic Guy here, and we are here with Savage Saturday Comic Review, Episode 77, Part 3 of the Conan and Zula First Meeting saga, and it's been a lot of fun. To find out what happened in the first two issues, catch my previous two episodes, and it'll get you all caught up. It's too much to summarize now, but it's been a lot of fun. It's been a great adventure, and it continues in this issue with Conan and Zula on their way to Bailey and Zephyra to try and save them. And but let's get into it. First of all, we'll show you the cover. Fantastic cover art, of course, by John Buscema. And in this issue, we have art by John Buscema, inks by Ernie Chan, script by Roy Thomas. So all the best. Nothing but greatness. And I just love, if you take a good close look, you got John Buscema doing like a Gil Kane monster there. It's a thing of beauty. You got Conan here fighting. You got Zula in some peril. How are these two barbaric heroes going to make their way out of it? Well, we're going to find out. Alright, so part 3 of this saga, called The Devourer of the Dead. And it starts out with Conan and Zula. They're trying to make their way into the city, and then Conan's got to keep his vow to Zula to follow him to Kasheta, the city of magicians, after they do this mission, and help him with his mission there. Alright, so what they need to do is break into Luxor, where Bailey is there with Zephyra to try to free her dad who is imprisoned. So great opening panel. It doesn't get any better than John Buscema and Ernie Chan working together on Conan. The other best team, the current team right now that's working on it, Jason Aaron and Ahmad Asrar. Fantastic. You got Roy Thomas here. Just good stuff. And then you get this beautiful spread. Look at that. So that's Luxor. You see over here there's an unfinished pyramid. And Zula's given Conan a little bit of a history of it, and the reason that this pyramid's unfinished is something scared away the builders, and they haven't returned. They tried once or twice, and it was no-go for them because people were getting murdered and dying there. All right, but they know they have to make their way in there, and they're discussing their options. Now, both of them are at a disadvantage because neither one of them look like the people in Luxor. Alright, none of them are Zingarians, and they look vastly different than them. So they gotta think of a way to kind of get their way in. As they're approaching, they're discussing their options, and Conan throws a line up to clamber over the wall. Zula's like, no one can make that throw. Conan makes it on the second try, to Zula's amazement, and Zula gives him his props for being able to make that throw. And once up there, Conan clears the way by killing the guard that's up there and breaking his back and his neck. And a very savage panel right here. Zula follows him up, and he's not a fan of the climbing. And so Conan takes the garb that the guard's wearing, disguises himself in that, and Zula is going to play as Conan's slave, seeing he's still wearing the slave attire that he escaped Kasheta, the city of magicians, in. So right now, they're doing their best just to get inside. So you got Conan acting as master, Zula acting as slave, and both of them scared that if anyone in there gets a close look at them, that their whole ruse is done. Conan goes into a bar, starts sweet-talking the barmaid and trying to get some information. But as he's talking to her, this procession's going by, a funeral for royalty. And like the Egyptians, she's telling Conan that all his slaves are going to be killed and buried with him, and there are also priests attending this funeral and to perform the rites. Conan's listening to her, And you can see the funeral procession in the middle of the page here. Conan is taking in all the info. She invites Conan back into a room. He says, "Yep, I'll meet you there in a minute." And then he makes his way out to Zula, and the two depart. So he leaves her hanging. And outside, Zula's getting picked on for being a slave by these three priests, not knowing that Zula is no man's fool. They're talking to him like he's stupid and that like he doesn't understand their language. And Zula is playing it cool. He's listening to everything he's taking in. And then Conan comes out, talks to him, and goes, "Well, we can't go in as guards, or else they'll be sacrificed as well. They need to go in as priests." These three priests were just picking on them. And Zula's like, I'll handle this. I'll get what we need. And Conan lets him take care of business himself. Zula turns a corner. They're surprised to learn that Zula is a man of intelligence and ability, and he slaughters them wholesale. And Conan's like, I never had a doubt. And he brings them their priest garb, and now they are two priests on their way. And they join the funeral procession, sneak their way in. And they're able to get on the boat that's heading in there. And the boat's heading into the half pyramid where nobody comes out. So this is where the funeral procession lies, and nobody knows why, because nobody's coming back out, except priests usually, and they're not talking. Now once they get inside there, 4 pages of ads. Conan and Zula are found out. Someone gets a close look at them underneath their hoods. And then it's a call to arms, and Conan and Zula slaughter the priests that are in there. The guards they find have already, the slaves and the guards to the royalty have already been slaughtered and are laying in a boat to be buried with him. But there's a catch. So we're going to get to that catch, though. It's a good one. So having done that, escaped that, there more guards are arriving, and Conan and Zula have got to get away. So they dive into the water, and Conan helps lead Zula to where there's more air, because he spies a bit of light, taps Zula on the way by swimming to let him know to go up. And they are in there, but once they surface and they get out of the water, they meet right here, the Devourer of the Dead. And then it's a fight. It grabs Zula, and where it's holding Zula, its arms and tentacles are solid. But Conan slices through the other parts, which are soft and they're not holding something, and Zula is released. They set the boat on fire and toss it into its mouth to dissuade it from pursuing them. But it's not working. So they're going to use the coffin as a flotation device, and they're trying to escape. And Conan's talking to Zula, and he hears his name being called. Conan, is that you? And when he opens the lid, it's Belit in there. So someone was trying to get rid of her to the Devourer of the Dead. And just nuts. So they are reunited with Belit, and they have to make their way back because Conan and Zula just find out from Belit that Zephrah is actually the sister of the king, and he's trying to kill her, and he was trying to keep that under wraps. Setting up a lot of intrigue for the next issue. This issue had a lot of action, and the story beats were good, but mostly this was them surviving, getting to the next phase, and meeting up with Belit. And we have to actually skip an issue, which is a reprint issue next issue, and the story picks up in issue 88. And that'll be our review for next week. But overall, a great, well-paced story, lots of action. You have Zula and Conan becoming better companions and friends, and they have a warrior's bond, and then they meet up with Belit. And you can't wait to see what's going to happen with the three of them together, and what happens when they meet up with Zephrah and go to rescue her father. A lot going on in this story arc, and it's a lot of fun. Overall, I would give the first 3 issues. This issue is another A+. Roy Thomas, John Buscema, Ernie Chan. It's hard to have a bad issue. They just are such a good team, and the stuff they do seems effortless. And when you're reading it, it just flows so well. The art feeds the story feeds the art, and it's a flawless combination. But next week, we're going to do issue 88 and see where this story takes us. It's a lot of fun. I'm loving this story. A pluses all around. A great introduction of a great character in Zula, and a character that comes back to play in other Conan stories later down the line. So he's a key person in the mythos of Conan, and just a lot of fun. But that's it for this week, guys. Until next time, keep it casual. Attention all, use channel sponsor Rogue Trader at theroguetraderutah.com and my code Keep It Casual for 10% off your comic cleaning and pressing needs. Remember, when submitting your books to be graded, use a trusted professional.